Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey. Welcome back to yet another quick chat. I have a few things that we will be discussing on the quick chat, as you can tell from the faces here on the screen. So, we are going to be getting into some things. As you come into the video, please be sure to like the video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you might want to go ahead and do so. Okay, feel free to follow me on all social media platforms. This video is definitely a premiere, so you're still welcome to super chat once the video is over and you're catching the playback. Feel free to, send your thanks. Okay. You'll see that underneath the video. You're also welcome to Cash App and all that other great stuff. Okay. So I just want to let you know about the different ways that you can support the channel. And I definitely appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into some things. Okay. First off, the other day I came to you guys with a quick chat regarding Miss Monica and Kodak, Kodak Black, because they were saying that they were dating. And I was a little puzzled, and I was like, "Girl, I know you fucking lying, girl. I know you, girl. No, ma'am. I know you like hood dudes, but I am refusing to believe that this is true." You feel what I'm saying? And then when I saw her take a picture with his mom and him, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is what that is. I'm not sure. Well, after a lot of people start talking about it on social media, Miss Monica decided to take to Twitter so that she can clear up any rumors that may be out there. Okay. Monica says, Bill and Shimmy, my heart. Okay. She says, they know they can trust me with whatever and never have to doubt me. Not every relationship is about messing around or dating. She says, I hang with their moms because I'm their age. LOL. I'm gonna forever love, support, and encourage them. They don't play about me. Okay. So there's that. She hang out with their mamas, and I'm kind of like a little bit like they don't mean that to child. People be out here hanging with folks' mamas and be trying to take their kids down through there, their sons and their daughters down through there. If you know what I mean, you feel what I'm saying. But if Monica says she not dating him, I'm not gonna hold her. Okay, I'm not gonna hold that lady at all. I'm gonna respect it for what it is, and wish her well that she continues to move on. Okay, because Monica ain't really been in no relationships for real since she left her ex-husband Shannon. The only one that I've heard her being linked to was C Murder. C Murder still in prison. I think he's trying to get out. I don't think he's gonna get out no time soon. I don't know what's gonna happen with that particular situation. So I'm like, get out here and date. Do what you want to do. I mean, you're a free woman, so go out here and date. But Kodak Black, absolutely not. No, ma'am. We're not gonna be playing with you on that. Okay. But either way, good luck. Let's go ahead and move on to one of Monica's good friends. Okay. And Lala is actually a good friend to so many different celebrities. Okay. I mean, she over there cool with Kim Kardashian, Vanessa Bryant, of course, Monica. You got Sierra. Like, one thing about Lala that I kind of noticed is that Lala, I think she's great at networking. I think she's great at networking, building relationships, and all of that. Which I mean makes her still relevant to this day because she just know how to get out there and network and develop those relationships. Okay. I wish I had that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had better skills in networking and stuff. But either way, I feel like that has helped her career a lot. Y'all know she started out, I believe it's like a DJ turned VJ or whatnot, because she used to host, I believe, TRL. She ended eventually met, her ex-husband Carmelo Anthony. They ended up having a child together and stuff, and things got rocky as he was a part of the NBA, which was interesting because she said she was never gonna date nobody that was in the NBA. But she went on to date somebody like that anyway, which was Carmelo Anthony, right? They ended up having a child, and then at some point things got a bit rocky in that marriage. And it's been said and alleged that he had a child on her, and she even stayed in that marriage for a long time. And for me, I think that one of the reasons she stayed in that marriage was because I'll never forget when Lala had her own reality show, and somebody asked her about like cheating or something like that, and she was saying that she would never stay, or she would never do something in that relationship, like she'll never stay or something like that if her man was to cheat. Like, she would have been out immediately. But it was just interesting that it took her a few years to actually get up out that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was interesting. So it brings me back to never say never, because y'all don't know what y'all are doing to y'all in that particular situation. Okay. I don't blame her. Maybe it was easier. It made more sense for her to continue to be in a relationship because they do have a child. But I don't think they was like together like that. I just think they probably could have been separate. I think they were together for a good minute. even after, the stories came out about him having a child, because they still was trying to, fix it up for social media like life was great and stuff. But then, I think Lala started to get on her fine stuff like, girl, it's really okay to be separated from this man. We'll live in different households or whatever, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and just delay the, the divorce or whatnot. But here we are. She filed for a divorce. I believe it was last year. I think it could be final at this point. I think that she is a free woman, a free agent to go out here and date whoever the hell she wants to date. And she did an interview on the Breakfast Club. Lala has been getting her acting on, so she will be on BMF, okay, or BFM. I always get it mixed up, but she's gonna be on one of another one of 50 Cent's productions that's gonna drop in January. And shout out to Lala, she doing her thing. So I'm like, girl, you better know how to get out here, network, and do what you got to do, girl. Whether the people feel like you can act or you can't act or whatever, you get into the money. And I'm not gonna fault Lala on that at all. But I know one of the questions in the interview came up about whether or not she'll be getting married again or something like that. And she was like, no, I'll never. Okay, Miss Lala said, that's not for me, girl. I have been there, done that, and I will not be getting married. Actually, she says, I'm never getting married again. It's one of those things in life that I feel like I could check it off my list. Okay. Like, okay, I did that. Maybe people want to say they've experienced that, and I've experienced it. And I know the good and the bad that happened to me. So it's not something I want to experience again. She says, I can have an incredible relationship with somebody and not be married. She also says, and I'm not knocking anybody who's married. It didn't work for me. I'm all for anyone it worked for. Like if it's working for you, like her good girl, Miss Sierra, if it's working for you, girl, let it work for you. But for me, it didn't work for me. So that's not something I'm interested in right now. She says, I feel like marriage at times becomes very much like a business thing. And what I find with marriage is it's easy to get into it, but it's harder to get out of it when you're dealing with attorneys and all this other complicated stuff. Okay. So she don't feel like she need that in her life. She don't want that type of stress. And I completely understand where Lala is coming from. I definitely get you, Lala girl. Your money, your tax bracket hits a little different, And when you out here just hanging around, enjoying life, dating somebody, girl, you're gonna have to get prenups and other stuff involved when you're ready to get engaged, because you got a lot more to lose and stuff. And that may put a little friction on the relationship because he may not want to sign one, and ain't no telling. Because she also talked about in that interview how her man ain't gotta have a whole lot of money. He ain't gotta, it's about the experience for her. She wants to be able to go live, travel, have fun. She ain't trying to take care of no man. Okay. Make it very clear. But he needs to be able to hold his own. He ain't got to be like the richest man in the world type thing. It's about the vibe and stuff for her. But I also feel like this. I think that once again, when Lala said that she would never allow her man to cheat on her or anything like that and stay in the relationship, when she said that on that show, she still stayed, right? So it's one of those never say never. She say that she's never getting married again, but you don't know. The person that may come in your life may make you feel super comfortable. He may give you that Russell Wilson type of vibe, and you might change your mind on that. You might actually in the next 5 years decide that, hey, you know what? That's where I was at that point. I'm at a different place now. I want to go ahead and move forward and get married and see what this life is all about, with a different person. And if she decides to change her mind, she has every right to do that. So we'll see how that's gonna go, but I don't blame Miss Lala. Okay, Miss Lala has been extremely busy with raising her child, acting, doing other stuff. She's been working at prisons and stuff like that, helping a lot of the felons and individuals over there, pick their life back up. So I think that's pretty good. She says she don't like to really talk a lot about what she do, because when you do talk about it, you get criticized for the stuff you talk about. But then you don't want to not talk about it because you may need people to know what you have going on so that they can, step in and contribute. I believe somebody leaked something that she's done more recently, which actually helped, because it wasn't like she was trying to leak the information like, hey, I'm working with the prisoners, I'm giving back, I'm doing this and that. But once the information did come out, it allowed other people to come in and support. But I also feel like people gonna complain one way or the other, child. So whatever you want to do, just do you, girl. They're gonna complain. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. So y'all promote, do what y'all gonna do, girl. The people gonna keep talking because that's one thing they enjoy. All right. So there's that on Miss Lala Anthony and that pretty good interview that she did over there on the Breakfast Club. Okay. So let's switch over and talk about Mr. Elon Musk, because baby, he was supposed to seal this deal with Twitter months ago, and he decided to change his mind on this deal with Twitter, and it finally went through. And I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping the judge would throw it out because I do not want to see Elon Musk be in charge of Twitter, because I am concerned about the changes that's going to come to the platform. I don't know, it could be a great thing for us, but because I'm used to Twitter running how it's been with the same people for all these years, girl, I'm a little skeptical, okay? But they're saying that Tesla's CEO Elon Musk has closed a deal to acquire Twitter. Okay, so this ended the months long saga that's been taking place all this year. Once he took over ownership, he did fire top executives, and I do believe that this is something that's pretty common. Whenever you get new leadership, they want to release those folks because they don't know them. You know what I'm saying? And they want to bring in some of their own people. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I will say, although he fired them, doesn't mean that he won't hire them back in case he needs a little help or whatnot. You feel what I'm saying? But that's a common thing when you get a new leadership, they start to release the executive board because they already got certain people in place to take care of certain things, to put in new policies and different things in place. So I understand that. Now, on this other side, which is interesting, you got Mr. Donald Trump over here applauding because he's glad that Elon done took over Twitter. Well, Elon did say in the past that he would rescind the ban on Trump. He will give him his page back. Now, that's something that he said in the past. But when he took over the position for real, in this week, he didn't really mention whether or not he was going to give whether or not he was really going to give Trump his page back. So we don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. We just gonna see. I feel like Twitter is going to be a fool. A lot of things start on Twitter and then it makes its way to other social media platforms. But baby, I feel like Twitter's gonna be a fool. And I really hate that the owner sold it. But when you're talking about billions of dollars, like, yes, I would sell this shit to you for billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even fault them on wanting to get the money and get up out of it. I can't. But some part of me wants to fault them because I'm like, it got to be bigger than that. But it really don't, girl. What's bigger than billions of dollars? You feel what I'm saying? But they're saying that Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, according to Forbes. And I'm like, yeah, baby, according to Forbes, because I do not believe that he's the richest person in the world. I just refuse to believe that when you got the Rockefellers, the people that's been out here running the banks and everything, the people that we don't see, the people that's not in the limelight. Hello, them is the richest ones in the world. Okay, all them people that's tied and linked to the Rockefellers and all this other stuff, girl, them the mother that's the richest, if you ask me. Okay. And so I don't think he's the richest. I feel like he's the richest out of the people that put themselves out there in the public eye. But that's just what I think. Okay. But let's go ahead and keep going. All right. Because what they're saying is that he actually, it looks like he acquired it for wait a minute, reportedly acquired Twitter at his original offer price of $44 billion. $44 billion. God probably would have just, gave Twitter up to for 44 billion. Hear what I'm saying? And then you got to have coin. I do feel like it again. There are some people out here I think and believe have way more money. But billions, when you hear that number, girl, it make you feel like the money that you make is nothing. Dust, dirt. Nothing. Okay. They said after initially reaching an acquisition deal with Twitter in April, Elon moved to terminate the agreement in July, citing concerns over spam accounts on the platform. Boy, if you don't cut it out, baby, understand that it's spam accounts all over the world. Girl, you got spam bank accounts and everything else going on, okay? He was trying to give some BS because he didn't want to give up that money or something. Probably even thought about creating his own doggone platform to compete with Twitter, okay? But I don't know. That's what he get. Girl. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. Okay. They said soon after that, Twitter filed a lawsuit against Elon over his effort to cut out the deal. Now, the judge in the trial set to take place ended up giving a deadline on Friday for them to reach a deal. And they ended up reaching a deal. So now Elon Musk is in charge of the Twitter. Girl, this is going to be an interesting 2023, girl, as he get himself acquainted for the rest of the 2 months of the year. 2023 is definitely going to be a doozy. He done purchased Twitter right at the, I guess, the perfect time, because it's gonna be a whole lot of politicking going on, girl, when it's time for people to vote for the next president and stuff. And it's gonna be real interesting watching the fugaziness go all down on the Twitter. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. Let me know if you're excited about Elon Musk, taking over Twitter, or if you're a bit nervous or you don't care. Either way, honey, go ahead and leave it down below in the comments. And let's move on to some other controversy taking place. Okay, y'all know Kanye West has been dropped by a ton of people. He was even seen on a platform even extending an apology to some of the Jews, from my understanding. But it seems like Boosie it seemed like Boosie was not too happy about it, because Boosie feels like Kanye West gave apologies to people that did not need apologies instead of giving apologies to his own community. He also feels like Kanye should have stuck with disrespecting his community, because obviously we allow it, and then he would still be good, because nobody cares when you disrespect the Black community. But when you start speaking on the Jews, baby, then it hits a little different, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all check out what Mr. Boosie had to say.
This nigga gonna apologize to the Jewish community, but don't say shit to the Black community. You a clown, dog. You should have kept talking about the Black community. Probably you wouldn't have heard nothing from probably but Boosie. You won't fuck with the Jews. Jews gonna have your ass looking like Delonte West on Skid Row, nigga. You don't apologize to the Black people. Die your fucking face, nigga.
I'm cackling to myself. I'm cackling because honestly, Boosie not really lying. Like, this man literally went on to TMZ and said slavery was a choice, and people continue to make excuses for him and forgave him and just, oh, that's just Kanye West. There's a method behind the madness. He's a genius. He's this. He's that. Okay. So, I mean, he would have continued to get dragged by Boosie and maybe a few others or whatnot. But he dug this ditch for himself, so now he has to lie in it. It's just interesting to see people saying that Kanye West is a genius, still saying it and saying that he has a plan. And I'm just like, so was the plan to get Skechers on board? Because when he went to Skechers, they turned around and walked him out. The plan for Kanye, in my opinion, needs to be for him to start his own SHI. You already got hell of a people that's going to still support you. And a lot of people are starting to say they're not even going to purchase from Adidas now that Adidas are about to do this off brand of Yeezys, right? So you got a lot of people that's like, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to support that because y'all ain't have to do that Black man like that, whatever. So, I mean, you still got your audience. Work on your website, go directly to the source, cut out the middleman, get these people that's going to make the products and stuff for you, and then just sell your own stuff. Okay. It's really just that simple. And I'm not understanding if he's that genius. Like, what else is he really thinking? Maybe he just wants to use other people's money to get it done. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Maybe that's the genius part, child. I mean, who the hell am I, honey? I don't know. It ain't making sense. Either way, I guess it really don't matter because I'm likely not even going to buy them. So good luck. Let's go ahead and move on, okay, to some not so great news here, okay? This story here is about 4 teenagers, okay? I want to talk to you guys about these 4 teenagers out of Buffalo, right? They're saying that 4 teenagers killed in a car accident on Monday morning. Wow. Aren't y'all supposed to be getting ready for school? Monday morning, and y'all supposed to be going to school, and y'all out here carjacking. I hate it. Okay. And I kind of know more about the story, which is why I'm thinking to myself, y'all out here carjacking or whatever on a Monday morning. But they're saying 4 teenagers killed in a car accident on Monday morning may have been participating in a social media inspired challenge, according to the Buffalo police out there in New York. They said that police said 16s ages from 14 to 19 were riding in a Kia that had been reported stolen the night before. The speeding car crashed and rolled over at around 6:30 a.m. Monday morning, ejecting 5 of the passengers from the vehicle. Okay, now I'm wondering, were y'all on y'all way to school then? Okay, they said 3 of the passengers were pronounced dead at the scene, while another was confirmed dead later that morning. Okay, there was a 14-year-old girl that did pass away, and she would have turned 15 next week on November 1st. We're also learning that this young woman actually had a daughter. She had just given birth to a little girl a few months prior. Ain't that some crazy stuff, baby? And you only 14, about to be 15 years old, just gave birth to, a baby, and you out here still with the wrong crowd. I really hate that for her family. That's a whole lot to deal with, from finding out your child and got pregnant at a young age to the baby giving birth and then turning around and she's caught up with the wrong crowd, which resulted in her, passing away. That has to be a lot. Okay. They said one of the ejected passengers was another 14-year-old little girl, all right, who actually survived, and then the 16-year-old survived as well, and that person was the driver that ended up surviving. Okay. Really sad because homeboy, Mr. 16-year-old, will be having to face charges for his actions. Okay. They are saying that he's been charged with third-degree unauthorized use of a vehicle and fourth-degree criminal possession of stolen property. He may also face additional charges. I would not be surprised if he does. They may try and get him on the death of his friends or his family members. Not sure of the affiliation, but they may add additional charges on this young man at a later time. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and just play that audio for you guys real quick so you can just see real quick from the news clip what they have to say about this situation.
Well, meantime, there's a new TikTok trend. It could be at the center of a stolen vehicle crash. It left 4 teens dead in Buffalo, New York. The vehicle was a Kia. It's a brand tied to an uptick in thefts fueled by the so-called Kia Challenge. Correspondent Kelly Beeson is here now with the details on the investigation, Kelly, and with a message from the mother of a passenger in that vehicle.
Yeah, this is certainly a difficult story, Nicole. And now concerns are swirling that this may have been the result, as you mentioned, of a social media challenge gone wrong. The mother of 14-year-old Ajane Harper, a teen who passed away in this crash, is speaking out, saying her daughter, quote, chose the wrong fun.
I never would have thought in a million years my daughter would have put herself in that type of situation, seeing the videos, seeing how they were.
On Monday morning, Amanda Maxwell received a call that her 14-year-old daughter, Ajane, lost her life in a car crash. She was reportedly one of 5 passengers in a stolen vehicle. 4 passengers passed away. 2 others were injured and survived, including the 16-year-old driver.
I just hope that people would please stop using reckless behavior and violence as a content to entertain people on social media platforms, because this is what it's doing.
All right, so y'all just heard that. Just so sad. I was a bit shocked to hear the mom say that, she never would have thought in a million years that her daughter would be caught up in such a situation like this. I'm not familiar with the little girl, but some part of me is thinking that, she put herself, let me not, because I feel like a lot of kids can be violated. My first thought, let me just say my first thought, being honest, my first thought is like, well, she's already been in a situation to get pregnant at such a very young age, but some children are violated, which brings about the birth of, or pregnancies of children. Either way, it is definitely an unfortunate situation. I hate that these babies lost their life like this, being so reckless and, doing this whole little TikToky thing. Like, girl, I've been seeing that too. A lot of people being able to hack into Kias, all based on some type of USB type of connection or something. They're able to just break into Kias and Hyundais and just rip the cars off, steal them, and go ahead and go about their business or whatever. So I'm very crazy, and I hope that this is a lesson to a lot of children that are even thinking about performing such an act. Stealing cars. Ain't nothing like stealing somebody else's car thinking that you done got away, or stealing anything from somebody and then shortly thereafter passing away. Like, it's just really sad. I hate it for the children, for every single person involved. The 16-year-old baby, you are about to face some real serious charges, and they just never think about their actions and how it's going to affect their family members at a later time. A lot of us can recall being a teenager at some point and making some dumb decisions, but not like this. I really hate that, but thoughts and prayers for sure over to the family. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about this young woman here by the name of Hen Bustami. Okay, this woman, this is a Las Vegas woman who made headlines when she accused the cops a few months ago of arresting her because she felt like she was looking too good. Okay, the reason they arrested her a few months ago was because Miss Ma'am ended up she was at the airport, I believe, and she did not pay a tab. Okay, she had got her a meal or whatever, and she just left. It was an unpaid meal, and she was just like, it's whatever. So when the cops came to her, addressing the issue with her, of course she got flies, said whatever or whatever. They ended up arresting her for her reckless mouth and the way that she was acting or whatnot, and for the actions of her not paying the people when she went to the restaurant or whatever. And then she decided to say, well, the reason I was arrested was because I look too good. Well, ma'am, now you're finna look real good in this orange jumpsuit behind bars, because now they're saying that this girl is accused, okay, of allegedly killing her mother. All right. And this young woman is 28 years old and she was arrested. So she's from Las Vegas, right? But she was found in California. Girl, she was over there near California. What? 28 years old. They found her at 5:30 in the morning. Now, after she had already called the police and alerted them and said, hey, I think I unalived my mama. I think I killed my mama. Okay, so the police rushed thinking they found to find this young girl. They didn't find her. They ended up finding her mama instead. I believe her mom was at the age of 62. And, with more searching things, they ended up finding this young lady over there, closer to California, child. I can't. Okay. They did say, like I said, she was arrested back in August for skipping out on a meal. And then now here it is. She done sat up here and killed her mom. Now her neighbor said that there were always some issues that was taking place between the two of them, but he would never really get in between it because he was just like, okay, like it'll die down or something like that. And this time it has gone too far because I don't know what this little girl had going on. Okay. A whole lot of disrespect in her system. But y'all go ahead and check out this news story.
A woman is accused of killing her mother in the Southwest Valley this morning.
Metro police confirmed that she was caught a short time later in California. This is not her first run-in with police. Before heading to breaking news, Ryan Matthew took a closer look at her police record.
Caution tape still up over 12 hours later.
And I've been trick-or-treating here.
Neighbors waking up around 2:30 a.m. Police finding a deceased 68-year-old woman covered in lacerations and blood. But they didn't find her daughter, 28-year-old Hind Bustami, who they say first called in the death before abruptly hanging up.
Usually 10 o'clock or later, they would just be screaming in the backyard or they'd be fighting. And
Andres Moreno, who lives nearby, says the house in question was the loudest on the block.
I could always hear the screaming and yelling, so I just try to keep to myself. And of course, shortly after, the screaming, their police presence would be involved and things would get settled down, and then a week later it happened again.
Police records showing officers were called there 12 times just this year, mostly for family disturbances. Bustami additionally was arrested at Harry Reid Airport in August after skipping out on her restaurant check, sleeping in front of TSA, threatening to spit on officers, and claiming she was being arrested for being too pretty. Unusual interactions, neighbors say, were all too common.
She would come outside and literally spin in her driveway singing songs or talking to herself in her driveway, or she just walk up and down the street muttering to herself. I believe she had mental health issues and she really did desperately need help, but maybe she chose not to get it, or who am I to say, but there's obviously something going on with her.
Bustami was apprehended in Barstow, California, just a few hours after her mother died. She's set to appear in court tomorrow for the airport incident, but it's still unclear if she'll be there.
What? Not her saying she was too pretty. See, and then the neighbor saying she would be out in the yard doing all this stuff. Like, yes, Miss Ma'am definitely sounded like she had some mental health issues for absolute sure. And it also makes me think that when she was younger, they probably treated her like she's just so pretty and she's so cute and she ain't gonna do nothing wrong, and just favored her whole time. When she acted out, she probably wasn't being disciplined or being seen about, checked about. And then as she got older, it just seemed like it only got worse. I just girl, yeah. So I don't know with the witness or the next door neighbor speaking on this girl mental health issues. I wonder if that could possibly end up getting her off by saying she could plead some type of insanity or whatever like that over her mom's death, because it was clear he even witnessed the mental issues that she had, and he didn't just gave a statement on the news. So if she did have a public defender that cared, or she was able to get an attorney, I wonder if they can pull his statement in to, go in her favor. I would hope not. I feel like Miss Ma'am knew exactly what it was that she was doing. Very unfortunate. I don't see how people could just go around and just unalive their parents like that. Like, I just don't. I don't get that. And then, like, girl, look pretty in your orange jumpsuit, okay? Orange is the new cute. Either way, good luck. And let me go ahead and move on, okay? Because these kids just continue to be disrespectful to their parents, all right? Just continue to be disrespectful to their parents, because this mama over here is upset about it, okay? This mother says, the headline reads, mother breaks down in tears after discovering that her 16-year-old son stole $2,000 off her credit card to buy Fashion Nova and Shein for his girlfriend. The money was for her rent and for her bills or whatnot. Baby, oh, girl, my first thought is like, put his ass out, honestly. But then it's like, don't just put him out on the street for real, for real. But it's giving, sign his ass up for military school. Like, yeah, you finna learn something, baby. You could just throw him out there to the streets and then he just gonna be trying to get it how he live, robbing folks and doing whatever. Nah, sign his ass up for, some type of program that's gonna let his ass go over there and stay over there and get that work that he need to get, okay? Because you shouldn't be over here using them. And I bet you he ain't got no damn piece of a job. And my question is, how the hell did he even get your credit card? And then the other part for me is, why does your child not fear you enough to know to not touch your shit? Like, what? But girl, let me be quiet. Let me just play this video for y'all so y'all can go ahead and get into what Miss Mama had to say.
Y'all, I am so irritated right now. My son sit up here and literally took $2,000 off my fucking credit card. That's my rent money. That's everything. Every fucking thing. He gotta go. I just put him out. He's 16. I already done sit there and told him. I really feel like calling the fucking police. That's why I came live, so I can calm down. I really just feel like calling the police at this moment. You really took some money off my card to go sit up there and do some shit for a little ass girl? Y'all, I am so mad right now, man. Man, I don't know what to do. My feelings hurt, every fucking thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I never thought that he'd sit up there and do something like that. I never thought that he'd sit up there and do something like that. Like, when I got the notification earlier, when I sit up there and I got the notification earlier, y'all, the notification was basically saying, like, did I purchase this? But I didn't sit up there and pay attention to it. You feel me? Like, I didn't even worry about it or nothing like that. He got to go. He waiting on his daddy to come pick him up right now. He has to go. He got to go. He got to go. Like, you don't do that. Like, he got, like, his mouth, he's being hella disrespectful, all of that. So, you got to go. You got to go. You have to go. You gotta go. Like, I don't have no more money. Like, I called my bank. My bank sit up there and told me I gotta wait until Monday. They froze my account. They completely froze my account. So can't nobody else use it. But I can't get that. He needs to get away from my door. He not getting back in my house. He not getting back in here. I do not care. Get away from my door, little boy. See, you see how disrespectful he is? That's why my dog's sitting here barking. He's being so disrespectful. Since he's been talking to this little girl, he's been getting hella disrespectful. He's been out the chain disrespectful. I'm about to call the police. I'm giving you a chance and letting your dad come and get you. Get away from my door. Get away from my door.
Now listen, I mean, shout out to the dad being in the kid's life to be able to come pick him up. But I do feel like it was a little stretch for the mama to say she about to call the police. Like for me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that was just a threat to the little boy, but I wouldn't have said it. Okay. Him standing outside, I mean, I probably would have let him come in. You could sit in your room or whatever, or not even sit in your room. You could sit on his couch until your daddy get here. You know what I'm saying? But and for her to say he disrespectful, y'all, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know the mama situation, so I don't want to put a lot on her. But I do be feeling like they disrespectful because a lot of parents allow it. Ain't no motherfucking way my son would have thought that it was ever okay. You know what I'm saying? To to spend that type of amount on my credit card. And he's an authorized user. It has a credit card. Like, excuse me, I wish you would. 2000, you finna who? For what? For who? No, ma'am, no, sir. So that may be what she did. Maybe he was an authorized user of her credit card to help build his credit. And maybe she ended up allowing him a card as well. So with that, he just went crazy with the card, not fully understanding credit. And that's the only thing that would make sense. I will give that, because I'm hoping this baby didn't just go on this woman's purse and just take her card out. So I'm like, if it's a credit card and she's saying it's a credit card, then I would want to believe that maybe that's the case. But baby, first of all, being 16 don't mean that you won't get your ass whooped. Understand? You know what I'm saying? Everything I don't need no ass whooping, but that right there might need one, and probably should have got one a long time ago. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody, since he got this girlfriend, he's been hella disrespectful. Girl, no ma'am. I don't know. My mama just had a bit too much fear in us. Like, I don't know. That's not adding up to me. Like, what? I'm like, you ain't taking his phone. You're not snatching his phone. You're not locking up the phone. You ain't like, you're not, what's the discipline looking like? Because it's given that maybe it wasn't no discipline for him to feel like it's okay to just spend up $2,000 on some little flimsy little girl. Are you out your mind? And Miss Girl must got some game to be running on him for him to be spending that much money. Girl, when he get with his daddy, he will have to get a job, and you better pay me back every motherfucking coin. I'm not playing with you, and I mean immediately too. Okay, give me my damn money, run me my check, cause you got life up. You hear me? I'll show you what it really feel like to be out here working and working for free because you're not benefiting or seeing your check. Yep, give me the whole check. Thank you. Yep. Snatch that check like you snatch my money up off my credit card. Period. Okay. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on this situation, because it is indeed a mess. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to some more mess. Okay. Eric Bledsoe. All right, let's talk about this former NBA point guard, Eric Bledsoe. He was actually arrested for alleged domestic violence just days after signing to play professional basketball in China. Are you okay? Are you okay, sir? You just signed to go overseas to play. So I wonder how this is going to be affected now that you then got caught up violating, your girlfriend. He might be able to just hop, jump, and skip and get over there to China. But what's going to happen when he missed that court date? By the time he lands over here in America, it's it's over. So who knows? Okay. Now his girlfriend, once this information came out, they said that he was charged with a misdemeanor. And I'm like, a misdemeanor for domestic violence? They usually be doing that as like a felony. But just a misdemeanor, now granted, it can be upgraded at any time, but it's a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor is going to be very quick for him to drop. Depending on when he got to go overseas, girl, it's probably going to be dropped before he even leaves. But that's just crazy. We don't know the full details behind it and what caused this situation to take place. We do not know, but it looks like she's not just his girlfriend, but she possibly could be his baby mama as well, as this image does show her holding a child, right? She did take to social media to say no relationship like this is ever worth staying in. She says domestic violence is real. This wasn't the first time, but I sat here and stayed, so it's my fault. She says Eric Bledsoe really is a monster. I don't think it's your fault. I don't think you should ever put that on you. You know what I'm saying? People should know how to better control their emotions. Okay. So I don't think that it was on you. Obviously, he was telling you some sweet nothings for you to stay a little longer, and maybe it is half your fault and half his fault. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that is all on you at all. And at least she, decided to speak out, but we don't know the full details about everything that did happen. But what we can see, at least it looks to me, it looked like he put his hands on her because the marks on her face, because it was said that she was slapped. The marks on her face definitely looks like a whole hand came across her face and was like, wow. Like Miss Ma'am is very red, and I'm sure she ended up being swollen shortly after that. Like, I don't be understanding what be going on with these people. You know what I'm saying? Just be out here, just be hitting on folks. Like, are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? And he probably feel like he gonna get away with it anyway because he finna go overseas. Very sad, very unfortunate. Again, I hate that happened to her. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and talk about Mr. What's his name? Chris Red. Okay. Chris Red is a comedian. And from my understanding, he also was a part of SNL, right? Well, he was scheduled to do a show earlier this week and he ended up being attacked outside of the comedy club right before he went in to perform. They said some stranger just came up and attacked that man prior to his performance. And I did see some pictures, so it definitely looked like it was some blood on the ground, baby. So I don't know if he got hit in the face with something or what. I want to believe that he did because the article says that it appears he was struck in the face, but I don't know if it was by way of a fist or if it was a bottle or something, but it had to be it had to be a object in that person's hand because we definitely saw blood on the ground. And I'm like, I don't know if a fist could do that so quick. But whatever it was, he ended up having to go to the hospital because he definitely had injuries to his face. He was in the hospital. I feel like he probably could have been in there for a few hours up to a day. And then he ended up being released from the hospital. Now, I do find this to be a little interesting. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but for me, it's just really interesting because we've been hearing Chris Red's name more and more and more, right? So Chris, of course, was a part of SNL, where y'all know Kenan Thompson, I believe, is also a part of SNL. You know, Kenan from Kenan and Kel. So he announced, Mr. Chris did. He announced that he was no longer going to be on SNL back in September, and by the end of September, we learned that he was dating Kenan Thompson's estranged wife, and this all happened by the end of that month, and then by the end of this month, he done got attacked outside of a comedy club. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. It's just interesting that I'm seeing his name back to back more often. Because I've honestly never really heard of this guy. But I was like, when I saw it, I said, wait, ain't this the same guy that's dating Kenan's wife? And then I'm reading, I'm like, oh, so he left SNL. And then you dating the wife, and then now you done turned around and got attacked in October. But they're saying that it was a stranger that hit him in the face, and they don't know who this person was. It was just like a random person. And I'm like, out of all those people standing outside, they came to you. Listen, it was definitely given targeted. They came directly to you and hit you. Okay, so this is just very interesting. We'll see what comes of it. Like, although he is dating Kenan's wife, estranged wife, ex-wife, whatever she is at this time, they said that it was no cheating or anything like that. It was no overlap, and Kenan and him are good. That's what they say. They say that they're good because it was no overlap or no cheating and then like that, baby. But it's still giving every bit of interesting to me. Okay, but I'm just telling y'all what it is that I think. All right, y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on this situation on your own. Okay, so let's go ahead, girl, and let's move on to something else. Okay, let's talk about Carlos King and Miss OG of Basketball Wives. Okay, formerly of Basketball Wives. Miss OG got a chance to have a sit down and talk to Carlos, and I thought it was a pretty good interview. I have to say, OG did speak on signing a contract with Basketball Wives originally for 5 years. She was supposed to be on that show for 5 years, but from my understanding, when year 3 came around, she wasn't really interested in staying longer because they were trying to talk her into staying longer. They were like, hey, we're going to give you a bump, we're going to give you a pay increase or whatever like that. But in order to do that, you got to stay an additional 2 more years, which would make it 7 years. And she was like, who? Not me. I'm not trying to do that, right? Well, I guess after more filming or whatever took place, she ended up being terminated anyway. Okay. So, and I could be having the time frames wrong, but I do know that they offered her 5 years originally. They came back and said, hey, we're going to give you a pay increase. We want you to stay for 7. She says, no, I think I'll be good after my 5 years. I'm fine. Like, why would I even stay around when y'all really don't even like me like that? Right. So after the third year or whatever, that's when she ended up being fired off of the show because according to OG, she just felt like she wouldn't lie for them or go along or try to calm down the masses from the whole racial conversation, but it was blatant, so we didn't even need OG to say anything. OG never had to speak anything, and we were going to drag Basketball Wives accordingly because this is what y'all were showing us. Y'all was trying to produce and put whatever narrative out there, thinking that it was going to be hee-hees and ha-has, and it wasn't. Right? Y'all was okay with letting Evelyn Lozada get away with so much stuff because at some point she was a fan fave. Even I loved Evelyn. Right? But after seeing that season and how she treated OG ugly, because you felt like you're more palatable and quote unquote exotic. You know what I'm saying? On top of being a fan fave, you feel like people would want you more. Like, what? I just felt like Evelyn thought that she was definitely better than OG, and I didn't like how she came off. You know what I'm saying? So whatever tactics they were doing over there at Basketball Wives, it was not working. Y'all thought that we was gonna all be dragging OG, and the crazy thing is we was all standing behind OG because nobody else really stood up to Evelyn outside of Miss Tammy Roman. For real, for real. And Tammy got to a place where she just wasn't finna fight with y'all. But Miss OG came in. She was youthful. She had time. She was ready. And we were ready with her for her to go in. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, she also talked about being sued by Evelyn during this interview. She talked about getting a restraining order against Evelyn, which I believe hers could have been granted or something, but Evelyn's wasn't granted. They actually ended up dismissing Evelyn's because she believed that what Evelyn was trying to do was get some type of restraining order so that it can like restrict her from doing any films or anything with OG, therefore making it harder for her on set. But the judge dismissed it. So I'm thinking to myself, if the judge is dismissing this restraining order, I feel like when it comes to this whole lawsuit about her being a racist or whatever, I feel like that's going to be dismissed as well. In all honesty, you feel what I'm saying? And she also tells Carlos about how the lawsuit is still going on today. The lawsuit is still happening today. She did kind of go into detail as to why. She talked about the fact that that it was COVID, right? It was COVID time, so that had a lot to do with it. And then she also kind of touched on the fact that Evelyn ended up switching attorneys like 3 times throughout this process, and then they had a trial date coming up this year, and she even trying to push that further back. You know what I'm saying? So Evelyn got a whole lot of going on, and I really hope OG wins this case, especially because she's a person that is actually in law school, from my understanding, pre-law, in law school, one of the two. So this may just be her arena. So it's not like she just got attorneys and may not understand the process herself. I think that she's thoroughly going to, understand the process, and this may guide her in what direction of law she may want to go into. But even outside of that, I just felt like, Evelyn, you weren't acting in that manner, in all honesty, while on the show. And I love during this interview how OG highlighted a Spanish politician recently that referred to dark-skinned Black children as monkeys. And I said, I remember that. She said, so let's not act like this isn't a thing as much as they like to say they're women of color. Remember when Evelyn Lozada got up there on stage after this situation talking about she Afro-Latina, like that was finna like mean anything or go away or something like no, it's not. So y'all definitely operate in that space of racism for sure. And I'm glad that OG highlighted that politician that referred to the kids as monkeys or whatever. Once that audio was leaked, I believe she lost her position or whatever it was. So it's like, girl, let's not act like it's a thing. And I'm like, yup, pull that in as evidence if you need to use it. All right. But I do have a clip here. I like to let you guys get a little snippet of the audio. So I am going to play that for you guys to check it out. So go ahead and get into this.
We are still in court as of today. As of today.
Girl, that lawsuit is still happening. That's years ago, sis.
It hasn't been settled because what happened was she sued me October of 2019. COVID happened. All of 2020 and beginning of 2021, courts were closed. When we finally had our first court date where we had to appear via Zoom, that person didn't want to appear via Zoom because she alleged she feared for her life. So the judge was not having it. A lot of people were like, what is going on? So we had a continuous. For those who don't know, a continuous is when you push like trial dates. Now come to 2022, our trial date was set for this December. This person, Lazada, has literally changed attorneys 3 times. She had her first attorney, who actually used to be Jen's divorce lawyer. I don't know what happened, but that relationship dissolved. Then she asked for a document to be able to represent herself. So then she was now her own attorney. That lasted for a few months, and then that was dissolved. And she just now hired a new attorney and asked for the court date to be moved to June of 2024.
Oh, okay. Wow, OG, this is a lot. So let's unpack this a bit. So this lawsuit is still ongoing because obviously, this person alleged that you made comments that she was racist, said these racist things about you, and allegedly she is saying that she lost deals because of these allegations. Is that the merit of the lawsuit from her point of view, allegedly?
Correct. So she's alleging that by me saying you're a racist on my Twitter, that that caused her to allegedly lose endorsements. And I've already done everything I was supposed to do on my end. I've turned in my discovery. I've turned in most of my evidence, and I still have more. And the funny thing is, you have to have a good reputation to lose that reputation. She never had a good reputation. She lost endorsements because she was pounding her pussy on national TV to millions of viewers. Me, I lost money. I lost endorsements. I've been out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees to have to deal with this mess because she couldn't just say, take my L and move on. She thought that she was going to be able to insult me on national TV and degrade me on national TV, and she was very unsuccessful. In fact, she just made it all reverse on herself. I was not the first person to call her racist. Everybody has amnesia. The first person to call her racist in my first season and also her first season was season 7 when she made those nasty, disgusting comments to Cece. I'm not even going to repeat them. Everybody knows what she called Cece, and that's only what you guys saw. That's not even what you guys saw behind the scenes. What you saw on national TV to multi-million viewers was her calling Cece nasty, racist names. And Cece said in that moment, oh, so you're a racist. So I always pose the question, why didn't you sue Cece? Cece called you a racist. Not that you have any warrant. You have no reason you can sue her. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if you act in a certain way, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck.
Period. If you walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, act like a duck, girl, it's so mother duck. Whew, that's what Miss OG said. OG had a lot to say, and I forgot all about Miss CC. I did. Okay. OG said everybody tend to forget. I was one. I forgot. Miss Evelyn made that comment. So she was yeah, girl, there is proof of your bullyism and racism, girl, going on. So I mean, I hope she don't win the case, but that's just, me. I hope that they go ahead and just throw it out and let that be that, and y'all can part ways while you over here trying to tie up people coins because you feel like you got a leg to stand on. You feel what I'm saying? And then I would love to know and would love for her to present to the judge what deals did she really miss out on? What did she really lose? Girl, we would love to know. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, honey, good luck. And let's go ahead and let's move on to someone else that Carlos got a chance to interview, and that was Miss Giselle Bryant. Miss Giselle Bryant, okay? Of course, she talked about quite a few things. She talked about how she don't give a damn about what nobody has to say. None of the people out here in the public. She already put that in her head as she was coming into the first season of Real Housewives of Potomac. She does not care. She know a lot of the ladies does not care. When she also says that she doesn't trip if the ladies have to come at her during the scene, because at the end of the day, she's all for the betterment of everybody, like the collective, basically, because she wants the collective to succeed. She talked about advocating, like when it comes to Robin, she don't like when people act like Robin don't bring nothing to the show, because she feels like you need balance. You can't have everybody on there that's acting like a Giselle or acting like a Karen or anything. You need balance like Robin. And I'm kind of like, when has Robin really brought balance for real, in my opinion? Even though I have always liked Robin, I have to say, this season is when I feel like she brought, well, I'm lying, girl. This season, she brought the balance. And when her and Monique was going at it, I loved that. Loved it. Okay. She brought a little balance then too, because they were seeing through Miss Girl. So definitely like that. But she kind of lost herself a little bit in these past few seasons. But Miss Robin has arrived and she's giving us some things. Okay. And I am thoroughly enjoying it, but that's just me. So she also talked about when she go up there to advocate, when they about to get raises and stuff like that, she don't do stuff for just her. She does it for them as a whole. Okay, so Giselle wants us to believe that she really be looking out for the ladies, and she just does not be looking out for herself. She also dropped some tea, girl, talking about Sharice and how Miss Karen was pretty much running from Sharice the entire production, not wanting to be near Sharice at all. Okay, because Sharice indeed has tea on Miss Karen. Okay, she says that a lot of the ladies have the same tea on Miss Karen, but Sharice is the only person that's really gonna call her card and really gonna put it out there. Whereas the other ladies is like, I'm gonna be quiet. Giselle said there's been times where she's gotten into it with Karen, and she feels like Karen should have gave her a call and told her thank you for not spilling her tea. Okay, in the midst of them arguing and stuff. Okay, so I'm just telling y'all what Giselle said. I mean, it was a pretty decent, interview or whatnot. Of course, she talked about the whole Candace and Chris situation. She feels like Candace is the person that blew everything out of proportion. She said that Candace is emotionally very immature. And she feels like, as a grown woman, if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, like, hey, your man made me feel uncomfortable, she expects Candace, as a grown woman, to go back home and question her man and then tell him to go and apologize. And I just feel like that doesn't make any sense. Why does she have to be emotionally immature when none of these ladies will let you try their husband like that? If you came to Karen and told Karen that Ray made you feel uncomfortable, XYZ, after Karen had just heard that Ray had DM'd one of the ladies on the cast or whatever, Miss Mia or whatever like that, somebody that he may like, then Miss Karen's not, she knows you. She knows how you are. Miss Karen is not going to sit up there and let you play with her. She's going to cuss you the hell out, period. Same way Miss Wendy is going to do when you tried her last year. So for you to say this woman is emotionally immature, I feel like, then what does that make you? Because you've held on to this information for a very long time, and you wait until Ashley brings a piece up into the conversation for you to add your flame onto it. And then you want to sit up here and make it seem like, oh, it should have been something that we just discussed in the moment. It was resolved and moved on. It shouldn't continue to be a thing. Girl, if you didn't think that it was a thing the last time when it indeed happened, and you didn't call her right then, or you ain't tell Chris right at the moment that you felt uncomfortable, and you waited all these months, then why bring it up now? Like, if you felt like it wasn't a thing, or it's not a thing now, then it shouldn't have been a thing then. You should have left it where it was at. And I'm just like, you could have just told Chris he made you feel uncomfortable. And then she wanted to say that Chris lied about saying that she was the one that suggested they go to the room. I don't really give a who suggested who go to the room. At the end of the day, Giselle, you're highlighting the fact that Chris was drunk. And even with you knowing that this man was drunk, you still allow him to come back to your room to have a conversation when y'all were already having a conversation in the hallway. You could have told him then that you felt a bit uncomfortable. I don't understand. Like, he's not Michael Darby. Chris has never posed a threat to you before. He sees you as like a sister or whatever the case is. So why you just can't tell your quote unquote brother, you've been drinking, so let's just have a conversation out here. I don't even want nobody to get anything misconstrued or anything like that. And then I keep overlooking the fact that the door was open. I don't know which one of y'all said that. So I'm just confused on why you trying to sit up here and label this woman as very immature when you about just as immature as she is. Where are we going with this? Okay. She also goes on to talk about how Candace is speaking on it more, and she don't know why she's speaking on it more. Then she says, "Oh, well, I know when you speak on it more, then it becomes a story, right?" So basically, she's trying to say that Candace is using this situation as a story, therefore making it a storyline, which is her storyline. But Candace already has a storyline, which is her trying to get pregnant. And her husband, who's working so late, and X, Y, and Z. So she already has her storyline, ma'am. And a part of the storyline is also building a relationship with Ashley. So why does she really need this? Let's not overlook the fact that you were the one that brought this to the show, which is why Miss Karen asked you that question in the first place. Why would you bring this to the show? Why would you bring this to the girls? And then you say, "Oh, I didn't. It was Robin that brought it. She told Ashley, or she told Mia, or whatever the case was." But at the end of the day, Giselle, you said it on camera. So you made this a story for your damn self. Therefore, making it a story for Miss Candace. You brought it to the show. You brought it to the show, and because you brought it to the show, producers got in your ear and they told you, "Hey, make sure you bring this up because Candace is going to be here today." So you made sure you pull her to the side to have that conversation. So don't be trying to play that girl like she just creating some type of story or she running with the story. Like, ma'am, you made this a story. You made this a thing. Let us stick there. You brought it up. So that's why we're here. Okay. She also addressed some more things about Chris or whatnot. So of course, like, I'm gonna play that audio for you guys. So go ahead and check this out.
Was it the idea of the fact that a man was in your room, or was it really about Chris Bassett, the human being?
I think it was both. To be honest with you, it was both. That evening, Chris was very drunk at that point of the night. I didn't get it. I didn't get why he wanted to have this conversation. We could have talked in the hallway. I didn't get why he wanted to go to my room. So once we were there, it just made me feel uncomfortable. You know how you get that pit in your stomach? That's what I had. And that is what I've said. I have never said this man lured me. I've never said he preyed on me. I've never said that I was accusing him of sexual assault, even though, the other side is talking real crazy. I said he made me feel uncomfortable, and I have that right to feel that way. I never thought that he would lie and say that I asked him to go to my room. That's a lie, and that's disturbing. I think that if a woman tells a man, "Hey, when you did this, this made me feel uncomfortable," I think a man should be like, "I'm sorry."
I just feel like that's full of BS. I just think Giselle's full of BS personally. She also went on to talk about how she's been in situations like this before. And she says, well, not that particular situation like Chris, but I've been in situations where married men have put me in, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. I don't think those are the same situations, Giselle. Okay, where these married men probably were attracted to you, wanted to, probably actually move forward outside of that. And then, what's so funny? Giselle says that I never said that she said, I never said that basically he forced himself on me, or whatever it was. She was alluding to SA or whatever, or being inappropriate. You also said to Robin at that table that you felt like Chris was kind of trying you. Like if you wanted to get down in that way, that he was with it. That's what you said. So that right there is enough for us to insinuate that did he make a pass at you in this room? So you may not have said those direct exact words as you just worded it, but you damn sure insinuated and alluded to something like that. So let's not play, and let's keep it real. You be foolish, Miss Giselle, girl. Okay, but y'all check out the interview if you feel like a girl. Don't check it out. I don't care. I just had to go ahead and bring that to the front so that we could talk about that. Okay, we had to get into some things when it comes to that. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about Miss Giselle, and the little snippet I played for y'all, and just the quick recap of the interview that she had with Carlos. Y'all give me y'all thoughts down below. Okay, let's go ahead and move on and finish up talking about Miss Candace, Dillard, and Miss Buffy. Okay, yesterday, okay, Miss Buffy did she went on social media and she talked about the show. She made sure to be very clear that she could not stand Candace. She felt like Candace was sending certain messages to her, attacking her infertility and things like that. And she felt like it was a fact, but you don't know that to be fact. right? You was just talking. Just you don't know that to be fact. You was just saying you were sure that it was her. You don't know that to be fact. Like, girl, what facts where are the receipts for you to say that this woman was sending you things about your infertility and attacking you? Like, I just don't understand, girl. Anyway, so once Miss Candace got wind of this, oh, also on this same live, she also went on to to accuse Chris. Okay, blame Chris when Karen talked about being hugged on too tight, right? Miss Buffy said that she believed that it was Chris. Based on her logical reasoning and deduction or whatever, she decided to come down and exclude everybody and make it end up being Chris. It was Chris. It was him. Based on what you wanted to be him. You wanted to be him. But anyway, let's keep going. So Miss Candace responded. Once she saw the video circulating, she says, when I leave this platform, whether I leave on my own volition or I'm fired, I'm going to leave, like actually go. Be onward and upward. Some of y'all need to let go of the platform that has already let go of you. Peace is a commodity I pray finds you in infinite supply, right? So then people was in the comments like, yo, Miss Candace, girl, put an ad on it. So she added Buffy or wherever she is. Okay. She says she knows I'm talking to her since she can't seem to keep her eyes on her own paper. Now, I'm just recapping for the people that may not be fully familiar with everything that went down. This led Miss Buffy to put this video up.
This mess. I'm going to start this off with this. Candace, I know that the fact that I'm fat and you're fat phobic just really grinds your gears, that I even have the audacity to breathe the air that God gives us. And I know that you are still seething because I sat on All About the Tea panel and commented on Real Housewives of Potomac. You seem to be the only one from your show that's so pissy about what I said on that show. I don't know why. But like people tell me to get over the fact that there was a public autopsy done of my non-functioning uterus, you should get over to All About the Tea panel. Additionally, I am not counting your paper. I'm always a champion of Black women making money finally on their own. I'm proud of you for that. But I will tell you one thing. Money is probably the topic you shouldn't try me on. Okay. All right. Thank you for sending people to my new page. I'm trying to grow. MRSMD.
All right, so y'all just heard what Buffy said. Buffy brought up her weight. Well, nobody talking about that. She also brought up money because she feels like she's more skilled in that. So she just wanted to throw that out there. Candace wasn't talking about none of this that Buffy mentioned. Buffy just wanted to say that. So once Chris got wind of this, right, Chris ended up saying, we have definitely made a lot of people on YouTube a lot of money keeping our names in their mouth. That better get my name right before her husband got to talk to me. Now, one, Chris, you know you don't have to call that lady no hoe. Okay, now you wrong for that. Now you ain't have to call that lady like that. You ain't have to do that. Okay, even when she went low, you could have went a little higher. Okay, you ain't have to go that low, but you could have been a little above low in the middle or something like that. You ain't have to call that no. But anyway, all right. So he was definitely upset about the things that Miss Buffy had to say, girl. You know, always got something to say, child. Okay. So there's that. He also went on to say a few more things. Okay. He says it's crazy how people talk about you. Then when it gets back to you, you respond, and then they want to ask, why are you talking about them? Where are y'all from? Okay, he added Buffy and then says hashtag just messy. Have your husband get at me real quick. All right. So that there was a whole lot of. Okay. Now, Miss Candace, let's see which one I want to play for you guys first. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Now, I just showed you guys a video from Buffy, right? And Buffy talked about her weight. She also talked about her money. Keep in mind that video came before the video that I'm about to play with Miss Candace. Now, this is where Candace references her as Biggie Smalls. But again, this video came after what Buffy said. So a lot of people were saying that, oh, well, Buffy started talking about her weight and stuff because Candace said she called her Biggie Smalls. Yeah, no, if you check the timestamps, Buffy dropped the first video I just showed y'all when she responded to the comment. Then Candace dropped her video. Okay, after going on a Twitter rant, she dropped her video after that. All right. And this is what Miss Candace had to say.
Never in my life. I got food in my weave. That means I'm eating good. Listen to me. Never in my life have I experienced this kind of obsession. This girl, Biggie Smalls, has the unmitigated gall to have me blocked on Twitter, but want to run her mouth about me, a whole me. Find you a 9 to 5, a 10 to 6, an 11 to 7, something to do. You are whack. You are so round and whack. I can't even begin to tell you. You have barked up my tree for far too long, and now you about to get what you asked for. Mind your business. Mind your business. Okay? Good day.
Well, there's that. Okay. She told Miss Ma'am to mind her business. You've been barking up my tree. I know Buffy mentioned that Candace was upset about a panel that she was on. I don't think it's that she's upset. I think it's that you continue to speak on her the way that you do that gets annoying for her. I think you want it to be about the panel. I don't think she's thinking or really cares about the panel for real, because she's out here trying to, girl, get on the Grammys list. All right. She's out here trying to perform and do whatever else that she's doing. But if she needs to come off her chariot, it looks like that's what it is that she's going to do. All right. Now, Candace also went on with another set of series of tweets. She says, this lawn gnome has the gumption to use my name for her dollar store blogging, but has me blocked? Stalker much? Then she says, okay, I'm done. Enough charity for the day. Hashtag Candace the philanthropist. Okay. She also goes on to say, have these pedestrians learned nothing from Cardi? Watch these false accusations before I take your lunch money and give it to a mental health institution in your name. Wow. Okay, so that is what Miss Candace said when she was going off. Now, once the Buffy never responded to Candace, from my understanding, but once Chris, dropped these tweets and things like that, Miss Buffy did come back and she had some things to say to Chris, and this is what she said.
Hey, Chris. We've been communicating on my YouTube, and I am a woman of my word. I did not mean to call you Chris Dillard. That was unintentional. It really was. If I meant to do that, if it was like shade or a read, I would cop to it. Like all the stuff I said about your wife, I mean. But I did not mean to do that. Apologies. I'm so sorry for that. And I didn't mean to infer that you were the one that made Miss Karen uncomfortable. I was just being messy on YouTube channel. I think I said you was nice, and I didn't believe that, and I was just doing a poll. But I understand if people's feelings get hurt, because mine certainly got hurt during my 3 seconds on a Bravo show, and I didn't mean to do that. I've always liked you. If you look back at my other posts, I always defended you. So you and I good. We good. I ain't gonna say nothing more about your wife, even when I cover Real Housewives of Potomac, since it's so upsetting. I'm a woman of my word. Smooches.
We'll see. We'll see how that's going to play out. Okay. Miss Buffy said that she's a woman of her word. She's not going to be discussing them no more. We'll see how that's going to play out. That's a very, very interesting. I don't really check out her channel to really know what all she says, but I do know I have a few videos on my channel from when she's came from Miss Candace at different times. So I'm wondering if she is going to just stick to a place of not speaking on Candace at all, or if she's going to continue to talk. Is she just being sarcastic in this particular moment? Who knows? I don't. All right. I don't. But I do know, girl, girl, let me be quiet, child. It was just the accusation of saying that it was Chris for me. You know what I'm saying? And also accusing Candace of sending certain things to you, which makes me, think that if they were to try and pursue legal, would they really have a leg to stand on? So I don't know, child, but either way, girl, good luck. That is all that I have for you guys today on the quick chat. I thank you guys so much for joining me. Okay, definitely like the video if you have yet to do so. Go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that great jazz. Subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. That's all that I have. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.